Elementary Science Class 6. The Living Organisms 1. Organisms and the surrounding where they live. It's fascinating how different regions have unique plants and animals that live there.
Definitely, deserts have camels, mountains have goats and yaks.
Yes, the seashore has crabs on the beach and a variety of fish being caught by fishermen at the sea.
What about ants? They seem to be present in all these different locations.
That's right. Ants are found in all regions, but the kinds of plants found in each region are so different from the plants of other regions.
Interesting. What about the surroundings in these different regions? Are they the same?
No, the surroundings in different regions are not the same. For example, in forests, we can find many plants, animals, and objects like dried leaves, while in oceans, we can find different kinds of soils and pebbles.
Wow, that's amazing. What can we do to learn more about organisms and their surroundings?
We can also consult many interesting books in libraries that talk of animals, plants, and minerals of different regions. Habitat and adaptation. The place where organisms live is called habitat. The habitat provides food, water, air, shelter, and other needs to organisms.
That's right. The presence of specific features or certain habits that enable an organism to live naturally in a place is called adaptation.
Adaptation of organisms differs depending on their place of dwelling. That's why a fish cannot live out of water and a camel cannot live in the sea.
The organisms, both plants and animals, living in a habitat are its biotic components. The non-living things such as rocks, soil, air, and water in the habitat constitute its abiotic components.
That's correct. And sunlight and heat are abiotic components of a habitat.
Do the body structure of a camel helps it to survive in desert conditions?
Yes, camels have long legs, which help to keep their bodies away from the heat of the sand. They excrete small amounts of urine, their dung is dry, and they do not sweat. Since camels lose very little water from their bodies, they can live for many days without water.
What about fish?
Fish have a streamlined shape that helps them move inside water. They have slippery scales on their bodies that protect them and also help in easy movement through water. Flat fins and tails help them to change directions and keep their body balance in water. Gills present in the fish help them to use oxygen dissolved in water.
It's fascinating how the features of a fish help it to live inside water and the features of a camel help it to survive in a desert.
Yes, and we have taken only 2 examples from a very wide variety of animals and plants that live on Earth. In all this variety of organisms, we will find that they have certain features that help them live in the surroundings in which they are normally found.
Abiotic factors. Have you ever wondered how plants grow and survive in different environments?
Yes, I have. I know that abiotic factors like air, water, light, and heat are essential for their growth.
That's right. Did you know that adaptation is the method by which organisms get well adjusted to the climate?
I did not know that. Can you tell me more about it?
Sure. Adaptation does not take place in a short time because the abiotic factors of a region also change very slowly. Those organisms which cannot adapt to these changes die, and only the adapted ones survive. Organisms adapt to different abiotic factors in different ways. This results in a wide variety of organisms in different habitats.
That's fascinating. Can you give me an example of plant adaptation?
When the seed turned into a sprout, it is said to have germinated. This is the beginning of life of a new plant. We can collect some dry seeds and keep them in different conditions to observe their germination. For example, we can keep one part completely submerged in water for 3 to 4 days, another part in a sunny room, another in a completely dark region like a cupboard, and the last part in very cold surroundings, say, in a refrigerator or with ice around them. By observing the germination in different conditions, we can understand how plants adapt to different environments. A journey through different habitats.
I recently read about different habitats around the world. Do each habitat has unique adaptations for the plants and animals that live there?
Yes, that's true. For example, desert animals like rats and snakes stay in burrows deep in the sand to stay away from the intense heat during the day.
That's fascinating. How do desert plants survive in such harsh conditions?
Desert plants lose very little water through transpiration. The leaves in desert plants are either absent, very small, or they are in the form of spines. This helps in reducing loss of water from the leaves through transpiration.
Wow, I had no idea. What about mountain regions?
Mountain animals have thick skin or fur to protect them from cold. For example, yaks have long hair to keep them warm. Snow leopard has thick fur on its body including feet and toes. This protects its feet from the cold when it walks on the snow.
That's amazing. What about grasslands?
Lions have long claws in their front legs that can be withdrawn inside the toes. The light brown color of a lion helps it to hide in dry grasslands when it hunts for prey. A deer has long ears to hear movements of predators and eyes on the side of its head to look in all directions for danger. The speed of the deer helps them to run away from the predators. Some aquatic habitats. Did you know that there are different types of aquatic habitats?
Yes, I did. Oceans, ponds, and lakes are some examples.
That's right. Animals like squids and octopus stay deeper in the ocean near the seabed and catch prey that moves towards them. They have gills to help them use oxygen dissolved in water.
And dolphins and whales breathe in air through nostrils or blowholes on the upper parts of their heads. This allows them to breathe in air when they swim near the surface of water.
Exactly. And in ponds and lakes, some plants have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. Their stems are long, hollow, and light, growing up to the surface of water while the leaves and flowers float on the surface of water.
Frogs usually live in ponds and can stay both inside the water as well as move on land. They have strong back legs that help them in leaping and catching their prey. They have webbed feet which help them swim in water.
All parts of submerged plants are underwater, and some of them have narrow and thin ribbon-like leaves that can bend in the flowing water. In some submerged plants, leaves are often highly divided, through which the water can easily flow without damaging them.